This canyon in Peru is twice as deep as the Grand Canyon, and over the next 3 days, we're hiking it from top to bottom and back again. Between the steep trails, heavy packs, and high altitude, it's definitely a challenge. But trekking along the river, through remote villages, and ending in natural hot springs, that makes it unforgettable. Welcome to Colca Canyon. Colca Canyon is about a 3-hour drive from Arequipa, where we'd been living for the past month. We were picked up early and slowly made our way up and over 15,000-foot mountain passes, watching the landscape shift dramatically as we climbed. After breakfast, we stopped at our first canyon overlook, and honestly, the views alone are worth the journey, even if you don't plan to hike. Just down the road, we reached the famous Condor viewpoint. The main platform was a bit crowded, so we followed a quieter trail just below for a better view, where these massive birds glide effortlessly on the morning thermals. Then it was time to meet our guide Fidel, join our small group of fellow hikers, and begin the trek down into the heart of the canyon. Day 1 of our Colca Canyon trek is off to an awesome start. We've had a great morning so far, even just getting to see the condors and the valley, and now we are beginning our descent down into the canyon. Danny, how you doing?
Great. I mean, this being the start of our 3-day trek, obviously spirits are up. We're currently around 12,000 feet elevation, and I will say the steepness is a little bit much.
But the good news is we'll probably be sleeping at a similar elevation to Arequipa, where we've been staying, but it does mean on day 3 it's going to be a hard climb back out. But we don't have to worry about that right now. We're just going to enjoy the hike.
That's future Danny and Lena's problem.
Yeah, you'll see that those words came back to haunt us later. So as we're hiking down, our guide Fidel has been sharing some good info with us. We've seen some condor, and he's saying that that is actually the second largest bird, just behind the albatross. So that's pretty interesting. Also, the town that we are hiking down to spend our first night in the canyon is only accessible via these trails, so you can either hike to it or the people can take a mule to get to and from. So it's kind of nice that it's not accessible by car. And then on the second night, we can actually see where we're staying on that night, which is just down there in the valley. So really cool start to this trail. Danny's already been laughing at me. I have every camera out. He does too, though. Look, he's got his camera ready.
I've got my camera, but you've got 3 that you pull out.
Beautiful. So we also learned that there's 2 options. You can do a 2-day trek or a 3-day trek, but the 2 and 3-day trek are actually seeing the same stops. You just get to do it more slowly. So you know us, we like to travel slow. We like to try and really soak every place in if we can. So this is great. As we continued the descent, we got to know the other 2 couples in our group, a pair of Aussies and a couple from France. We stopped for a snack break under a rocky outcrop, and that's when my favorite moment from day 1 happened. Danny traded an Oreo for a Tim Tam, a favorite Australian snack of ours, which brought back great memories from our time there. Well, we've made some good progress, but I will say it is toasty. Oh, awesome.
So far, we've descended just over 2,500 feet.
Okay.
We're about 3 miles in.
With the sun high above and the canyon glowing around us, we kept descending step by step toward the river below. The thought of dipping our feet in that cool water was all the motivation we needed.
A little sway to the bridge. All right. So we descended 3,346 feet into the canyon. We are just about 4 miles into the hike.
This is amazing. It feels so cool to be down on the canyon floor now. That river is looking really inviting too.
It really is.
off a little bit, and now we are ascending out of the canyon. Not too far though. I think we have about maybe a half hour more of hiking, and then we'll be at our site for the night.
After a short climb from the riverbed, we reached our home for the night. Our room came with everything we needed: a bed, a private bathroom, and even a shower. And the grounds were beautiful, with sweeping views of the canyon all around. We spent the evening swapping stories over dinner, playing games with our new friends, and after a long day on the trail, we called it a night.
We just had an awesome breakfast. The food here has been incredible. And we are en route to the next town. So it sounds like today we're going to be kind of traversing through the canyon, a little bit up and down, and then by tonight we'll reach the oasis. How you feeling, Danny? How are your legs?
Oh, a little sore, but all in all good. Glad we still chose the 3-day option because we get to move at a slower pace.
Definitely. So far we've been mostly in the shade, but we're headed back out into the sun. Pretty steady incline, but Fidel has been teaching us about the local plants and what they're used for, and we learned that their aloe vera smells like chicken soup.
Oh, I'm not thinking that.
Cool. We're about to cross the bridge over the river.
2 persons only.
2 at a time, he said.
It had been a pretty mellow morning up until then, but we started climbing switchback after switchback, making our way up and up and up.
Life update, we're still on the switchbacks.
As we reached the top, we were met with the best reward, getting to hike through a couple of the villages in the canyon. This was a bit of a full circle moment for us, as I shared with our friend Constance as we hiked.
Hola! So when Danny and I first started dating, we had kind of journaled separately of what did we think life would look like in the future, like what did we hope?
Yeah.
And we came back together and shared, and it was written down, and we both talked about how we felt like at some point in time we'd be traveling kind of long term. And I said, where? And he said, Peru. And then I looked down and I said, I also wrote down Peru. And we had both written literally that we saw ourselves hiking through villages in Peru, like in the Andes Mountains.
That's crazy.
And so when we just got here with that little boy, like that was kind of the vision that I had of like,
oh my God,
what I hoped life would be. So I'm just so happy right now.
Yeah, I can understand.
Everything we dreamed of, right here. Being up here is just a totally different perspective of what do you really need in life. Not that much, to be honest.
Well, not just that. Like, this is the way I feel like I do want to travel. It's just truly backpacking.
Yeah.
Bessie.
So we made our way through the towns, which were really cool to experience and just sit and enjoy this amazing view.
Hey, look at those terraces over there.
It's incredible.
Down to the riverbed.
Like, the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. And yeah, just, I really love our group that we're with too. Everyone appreciates things so much, and it's just a really good vibe between all of us. So yeah, this has been awesome. Day 2 is, I think, off to a great start. So I think now we're going to be hiking down for a little bit and making our way over to the Sangalle Oasis.
At this point, I think we were all on cloud 9. I walked and chatted with the girls while Danny made a new hiking buddy of his own as we continued through the farmland.
We are making our final descent down so we can see where we're staying tonight. Bad news is we can also see the trail coming out of it tomorrow, but we've all agreed that is a future problem and we're not going to worry about it today. Everyone's got their sights on the swimming pool, the river, and just having a nice relaxing afternoon.
With the oasis in sight and the promise of an afternoon to relax, we picked up the pace. The trail led us to what was probably the most epic bridge we'd crossed so far, suspended above the river with towering canyon walls on either side. We paused just long enough to soak in the view before continuing on to our final stop for the day. Our accommodations were tucked just beyond the bridge, surrounded by palm trees and terraced gardens, and everyone had their eyes on one thing: the pool. After a long day in the sun, that water felt incredible. We spent the rest of the afternoon swimming, laughing, and soaking up the last rays of daylight. But in the back of our minds, we all knew tomorrow's climb out of the canyon was going to be no joke. It's 4 a.m. and we are just about to start our hike out of the canyon. How are you feeling?
So good. Let's go. Let's go. Warm up the body.
We're both really sore,
Warm up the body.
but we're also morning people.
Warm up the body. 1,500 meters.
Yeah, we've reached the quarter-way point, I think, which is good. And we ran into the same dog that was hiking with us yesterday. So we're taking a slow and steady approach, little steps, and we'll get there.
Remember when day 1 and day 2 us said that the climb out was a future us problem? Well, that future had officially arrived, complete with sore legs, steep trails, and me fully living on the struggle bus. Still smiling, just working really hard for it.
We're past the halfway point. The light has filled the canyon, so we're getting amazing views. It's a great morning.
And our tour guide is arranging a mule for our last 1,500 to 2,000 feet ascension.
Just for our bags.
Just for our bags.
We're still hiking, but the bags will not be.
How's it feeling?
Feels lighter. It's still hard. This is still quite a puff around the way up here, but it's beautiful. We're really enjoying the morning. Taking this as like a training run for our treks coming up here in Peru. So stay tuned for those. We've got a lot of cool ones coming up.
We really do.
That's how it works.
There's our friends.
Look at it. Right there. They're cheering, they're fist pumping.
Yay!
Woo!
Seeing our friends is giving me the final energy.
To finish our 3,300 foot ascent.
Friends!
Well done.
Good job. Hey-o.
We made it, and I saved my last bite of Snickers until the end.
Oh, it was such a good hike, though. It's about 3,300 feet up, or about 1,000 meters, just switchbacking up over the course of about 2 miles.
It was pretty serious. Things got tough there for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't film quite as much, but seeing our friends like sitting at the top, I feel like that gave us the final push.
Absolutely. I'm gonna show you over the edge because you can't even see where we started from the bottom of the canyon.
¿Tienes foto, amigo?
What a good time.
The adventure didn't stop at the top. We hiked a little further to a nearby town where we celebrated with a well-earned breakfast. Then we made our way to the perfect post-hike reward, soaking in natural hot springs with a view. But even the ride back to Arequipa had a few surprises, like a 16,000-foot overlook with views of the volcanoes and a wildlife reserve full of llamas and alpacas. This trek had it all: challenge, beauty, connection, and truly an unforgettable ending. If you enjoyed coming along, don't forget to like and subscribe for more slow travel and outdoor adventures around the world.